Hello, it's Jay here again and welcome to another tutorial. So in this lesson we're going to finish up with the inventory for now. Now we will be coming back to the inventory at a later date once we add some more functionality to the game. But in the coming lessons we're going to work on them new functions themselves. However, in this video, I want to give you a little example of what you can do to actually make your inventory look a lot better, a lot more pleasing to the eye. So, as always, I would advise you to experiment for yourselves to find a look that suits your particular project, but hopefully this will give you an idea of what you can do and how things work. So let's begin by creating two new variables within the inventory script. So these will be of type public, and the first one is texture 2D. We'll give it a naming convention of inventory box texture. Let's close that line off into the comments. Create slot in inspector to assign we'll put inventory box texture. Let's come below and we're going to say public GUI skin, and please note the capitalization here, and let's give this a naming convention. So we'll say inventory, inventory GUI style. Let's close that off into the comments, create slot in inspector to assign a GUI skin. So with that in place, let's just save that off for now. And we're going to downsize and allow the script to recompile. So if I come to my GUI folder, as you can see, I've created a very simple GUI box. So I've kept it black with just a white border. That's all I want for my project. You can obviously use any sort of texture you like. And let's assign that to the slot for the box texture. And in here, let's right click, create, and we want GUI skin, and we'll just call this inventory GUI. And what we want to change, because we've used a lot of labels within our inventory screen, that's what we're going to adjust here. Obviously you can adjust other things such as buttons and GUI boxes, but let's just adjust the label. Now you can assign any font you wish. I'll just use Open Sans Bold. Font size, I'm just going to give mine a small value of 12. Alignment, in fact font style will keep as normal, and the alignment I want middle center, and I think we can leave everything else as it is. So let's come back to the FPS controller and let's assign that GUI. Okay, with that in place, let's come back to the script. So we'll scroll down till we get to the on GUI function, and right at the very top here, before we even put this line, inventory is open equals true, and we'll just assign that skin by saying GUI dot skin, and it's going to be equal to underscore inventory GUI style. Let's close that line off. I mean, I could have called this GUI skin as well, so I'll leave that naming convention up to you. Into the comments, GUI skin is equal, we'll say, to our, let's say, custom GUI style. You can also put skin here as well. I'll leave the wording up to you. So, as I'm sure you're all aware, the GUI function draws everything in the order in which it is wrote. So, for example, let's come down to the consumables. So, if I want to draw a box texture behind this block here, it must come before it, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Let's put this into the comments. So we'll say draw box texture behind, and we'll just put consumables. We'll come below and then we'll actually draw it. So we'll say GUI dot draw texture. We'll open and close brackets, we'll close that line off. Inside the brackets, new rect, and we'll open and close brackets again, and we'll come inside those brackets there. So I've already experimented with the positioning. So I found a value of 5, the same as below here, comma, I'm going to say 105, so just 5 less than this one here, comma, and then we want the size, and the size is going to be the start label horizontal, comma, and a value of 160, comma, inventory box texture. So let's see, it doesn't seem to be coming up on the, there we go, on the IntelliSense. So that's what we're drawing. So you'll need to experiment with the values that, again, suit your particular screen. I'm sure you've all made little adjustments yourselves to the positioning and the sizing, but I found this works well for me. So we'll just downsize that, we'll allow it to recompile, and we'll just test it out for now. So we'll start it up, we'll come straight to our inventory screen. Now, as you can see, because we've put the alignment as middle center, everything is wrote in the middle center of all these labels, as you can see here now. And as you can see, we now have a box encircling this block here. And you may want to encompass the title as well, which I'm sure you're all capable of making or adjusting that, but that's the way it looks. Now obviously that's a little bit too big, I'll probably want to downsize, so the sides of the box are around here and here, but you get the idea. And let's just come back to the script and we'll do this a couple of more times. And as I said, you know, I'm going to actually make adjustments as we go along, but this is just what I'm going to use for now. So we'll change the comment to constitution boosts, draw box texture behind constitution boost, and let's give that a value of 300, and let's have a look. We'll keep that the same, and we're going to come a lot further down now past these use statements, and I'm going to come here below where we write the ammo title. We'll paste that in, and we'll need to use this value to begin with. Screen.width divided by 2 minus half the stat label horizontal. So let's paste that in over that 5. And let's just get rid of that. We don't need that second open bracket there. And 105 stat label. I'm going to adjust this up to 250, and stat label horizontal, let's just increase that by 10. Let's just save that off. We'll downsize mono develop, wait for it to recompile, and then we'll test it out again. So let's hit play. Come straight to our inventory screen, and as you can see, we now have boxes around each block. And you of course can obviously extend this to encompass the use buttons. You can adjust the label width and its positioning on the screen, but you can see how you can add a few little background textures behind each block within your inventory, and it can make it look a lot nicer. And you could also do some sort of background behind your stats here as well. As I said, we're not going to do anything more in this video. I will do, as I said, further lessons for the inventory itself, basic functionality for the inventory, as we get other functions into the game. We'll come back to the inventory and we'll add in if necessary. I may also do further lessons where we again improve the look of the inventory system, but because we've spent a lot of time now actually working on the inventory, I thought it would be fun to do something else and maybe work on some other functions for the game. So, like I said, we'll leave it here for now. As always, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I hope to see you next time. And until then, as always, bye for now.